Hello and welcome to a Disventure Camp Season 1 tier list. I have done every generation of Total Drama, and I have done Season 4 of Disventure Camp twice, and I'm going to do it again once we have Season 4 finished. I've even done one for both halves of Season 5, but it occurred to me that I never actually did one for Season 1 or Season 2, so that's what I'm going to be doing. This will be Season 1, and one of my next videos will be Season 2. So yeah, I'll explain the tiers in a second, but we will not be ranking Derek, Trevor, or Jensen. And also this does include all of their appearances so far, which means Alec, Gabby, Fiore, and Tom, they could all change. Also, haven't seen Tom Jake, so that doesn't affect anything. But yeah. Amazing as fuck. They're amazing. They're like top tier characters. Awesome. They're really good. Okay, they're okay. I don't know. Well, let me change this one. I don't know to meh. Then Nabra, get out of here is the worst tier everyone can be in except Jake, and I think we all know who's going in Jake tier. So yeah. We'll just start with one of the best characters, going straight into amazing as fuck. Alec was the person I was rooting for to win Season 1 outside of Fiore. I freaking love Alec. I'm so happy he's returning. I liked all of his plot lines in All-Stars. I know a lot of people hated All-Stars. I actually really enjoyed All-Stars, but I think Alec was a really good part of that, and I think that's pretty uncontested. I was rooting for him in All-Stars too, actually. I wanted him to win All-Stars even more than I wanted him to win Season 1. I think his personality is good. Obviously he's one of the most strategic people from the Season 1 cast, with the only other like big strategy players being, I don't know, like maybe Ellie and Fiore. Yeah, realistically probably only them. I wouldn't even say Tom. But Alec is just a goated character, one of the best Disventure Camp characters, period. Yeah, I love Alec. Another person going into Amazing AF is a member of my Total Drama Multiverse series, Ashley. Ashley is pretty good in Season 1. She was fun in Season 1. But when I say she got robbed in All-Stars, I said I was rooting for Alec to win All-Stars, but I was actually rooting for Ashley to win All-Stars. I just fell out of my chair. Ow! Hold on. I just fell out of my chair. Whoops. Okay. Ashley freaking got so robbed by this dumbass and Allie screwing around. And then she freaking forgave him. That's why in my Total Drama Multiverse series I changed that part where she doesn't forgive Jake and she's like super bitter coming into that, because I feel like that was dumb. I think Ashley, I was hoping she'd come back in Fans Are Favorites, but sadly not. So I hope she comes back in like a second chance season or something cooler. Or maybe like I think it's called Blood versus Water, like Ashley and Will as a couple. That would be fire. Plus we need more Will screen time, but we'll get to him. Ashley is a goated character and got robbed because of Jake. Then there's Dan. People really like Dan, and I'm not too sure why. For me, he's not bad. You have to be bad to be in here. But he's just he's just there. Like, why is he there? He doesn't really do anything. I never saw the beta, but originally he was the first boot in the beta. I think Dan would probably be like the main protagonist of the second chance season. So I think it'll probably go up eventually in a few years from now, but Dan is just a nothing burger for me. Speaking of nothing burgers, this one is such a nothing burger that I don't like him. Drew doesn't do shit. I'm pretty sure what happened with Drew, if I remember correctly, is I can't remember if he found out Tom's identity or if somebody else made Tom think he found out his identity. But like, or the fact that he's a secret spy. But yeah, he was literally just filler. Drew was literally a filler boot. He will probably never come back, even if there is a second chance season. I don't think he'll ever come back because he can't talk, so you can't really do anything with him. Just freaking overall bad filler. Like, they've gotten a lot better at doing filler characters. Like, I wouldn't even consider them filler characters in Season 4, but if you had to pick, it'd be, like, Alicio. But even then, that had, like, massive ripple effects. He still got a bunch of dynamics with, like, Logan and Ted and Richard and Natalia. But Drew is just nothing. Then there's Ellie. Ellie took a while for me to really care about. But after Alec was eliminated, she was then the person that I 100% thought Ellie was going to win. Because I wanted Fior to win, but I expected Ellie to win. And then we'll get to who actually won later. But Ellie is right on that edge of amazing as fuck. But I'm actually going to put her in awesome. I was really surprised she wasn't in Fans vs. Favorites and they instead chose Gabby. I don't mind that, though, because in universe, she did just graduate, I'm pretty sure, a few years before, so she should be doing better now. And also, Gabby can still do her whole insane thing since she won't be around Ellie. Maybe Ellie, like, applied and Gabby, and then them knowing, like, the producers knowing that Gabby gets bad without Ellie or Gret. Maybe then that's why they only let Gabby come back. But I think Ellie definitely should have won Season 1. Like, from a story narrative standpoint. She deserved it. She was a dick, but yeah. Also, everything she said at the beginning of All-Stars, whenever everyone was pissed at her from those interviews, everything she said in there was based. Everything was entirely true, except the line about her Ashley's IQ matching where she's from. I am also from Texas, so that pissed me off a little. But it's a cartoon, so I don't actually care that much. W design as well. Her friendships and relationships and enemy ships or whatever are all really good. In fact, I might actually move her up to amazing as fuck later. We'll see. I really like Ellie. But someone who's going to be taking... I guess I'll rank them within the tiers. And if I'm doing that, yeah. Fior, best character in Season 1. One of the best characters in Disventure Camp. I'd say... easily the best villain. I'm so happy she's returning for Fans vs. Favorites. I hope she returns every single 2 seasons. Like, she's in every odd season so that we can see her grow up every 2 years. Because now she's going to be 10. She was 6 in Season 1. She's going to be 10. So I hope she comes again when she's 12, 14, 16, 18. It'd be crazy. I hope she, like, genuinely just perpetually always comes back. I hope she's Springtrap, bro. Fior is... a goated idea on paper, but with a surprisingly well done execution. There wasn't a flip switch like Scarlet from Total Drama, which is kind of what I was expecting to happen, especially since the season's only a 13-episode season, just like Pacifeo Island. Fior genuinely was so well written, and after Ellie got out in 3rd place, I really, really, really wanted her to win. Yeah, no, Fior was... Obviously, it made sense that she wasn't going to get too far in All-Stars, but she was good while she was there. She was the best part of her team, honestly. Even over Ashley, because Ashley had to deal with Jake and Allie. But her thing with, like, Hunter and stuff was good. And I really hope she makes it very far, or maybe even wins Fans vs. Favorites. But at the same time, if she wins, she probably won't come back that much, so who knows. Then there's Gabby. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this to a good tier. Also, I definitely need to speed up, because we're already 8 minutes in, or 9 minutes in. But Gabby, yeah, we'll put her in good. Gabby's good. I've never had, like, the same attachment to her as I had for Ellie, for example. But, like, her, I think she's going to go up to at least awesome tier in the next one, like, and after the next season, because I think they're really gonna lean into, as you can see right here, her, like, insanity or schizophrenia or whatever the hell it is, and I think it's gonna be really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed the concept of Gabby's character. Again, her relationships with, like, Ellie and Gret and all that were very good. I like Gabby, just not as much as some of the other characters. Then there's Gret. Season 1 Gret was an annoying pig who I didn't really like. She was like a toned down, more realistic version of Sugar, and I don't like Sugar. But Season 3 Gret was so goated. with her whole thing with Yule, I honestly think she's not who I wanted to win All-Stars, but she probably is the one who deserved it the most. I really like Gret in season 3, but she's kind of like, if it was just season 1, I'd put her here. If it was just season 3, I'd put her here. So I'm gonna put Gret right behind Gabby in the good tier. I really like Gret's character. I'm surprised she didn't come back for Fans vs. Favorites as well. I thought it was going to be Alec, Fiore, Gret, and maybe Ellie. But I was half right at least. Okay, then we have Jake. I'll try to keep this one short because I've talked about Jake a lot on this channel. And I think everybody who's a consistent viewer knows, I think Jake is the worst character in all of fiction. Period. I hate every part of Jake to the fact where I laughed at the scene where his grandma died in the when I was rewatching season 1 with my friend. I genuinely have such a massive hate for this dude because All-Stars is so good to me except for this fucker. If this fucker won All-Stars, I genuinely was gonna quit the show. I would have never watched Carnival of Chaos. I promise you. I promise you. I hate everything about this stupid character so much. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm getting pissed off just thinking about him. I hope he never returns. He's the reason I haven't watched Tom Jake. Is because half of it is Jake. I just, oh my gosh, I hate Jake so much. Let's just move on. Okay, our third person to not be in All-Stars, Lil. She's just Like, Lil's cool. I'll put her above here. She got eliminated in the double elim with Ashley, I think, in season 1, and she hasn't returned since. She'll probably be back for a second chance season. I could see her and Linda bonding a lot in a second chance season. But she's got more of a character than Dan. She's still like makes a cameo in All Stars in the picture at the end. She's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. But I don't really care for her much. Like, I'd say there's a huge like rift or gap between these like Gabby and Gret and Lil and Dan. There's a huge gap on these two halves of the tier list. Miriam, probably the hottest take of the video outside of Jake, of course. Miriam. Meh. Miriam should not have won season 1. Honestly. Yes, she had her whole arc with learning to accept the youth and enjoy the youth, right? But it was with Jake, and I hate Jake. And then she won over Fiore, who from a gameplay perspective deserved it more, and over Ellie, who from a monetary perspective deserved it more. And she faked her death to get it. And then in All-Stars, she has 5 different references. There's 5 different references to Miriam dying in the first episode. And I genuinely thought it was going to be a plot point that Miriam died in the beginning of the season. And then Jake would have to suffer through a second thing. And I would have been so happy about that. And not because I don't hate Miriam. I think Miriam's an okay character on her own. But I think that would have been hilarious for Jake to have to sit through. He'd probably quit though, realistically. So because like Ellie says, I'm letting her walk towards the light if she does that again in one of the interviews. She says she'll die before the plane lands. There's 2 different things about Jake telling her to turn back. And then there's something else in there. But yeah, she's still a good character overall. But I'm just gonna keep her in the meh tier because she's so associated with Jake and she should not have won season 1. I do genuinely enjoy her though. Yeah, then there's Nick. The only interesting thing about Nick is, I'm going to put him right here with Dan and Lil. And the only interesting thing about him is that they're trying to separate themselves from Total Drama. But just how Crystal was originally Chris McLean's daughter instead of Christoph McLean's, freaking Nick is Dakota's brother, which is really weird. But I like that. And then he's got, like, his attitude's funny. He serves his purpose. And I would enjoy to see him back on another season. Again, like a second chance where we have like Nick and Lil, but not Ashley or Will, because I think they're going to save Will for Blood vs. Water, because they've been talking about doing more Survivor type seasons. So yeah, he's okay. He serves his purpose. Then there's Tom. Now you would think, after putting Miriam here and putting Jake here, you would think, oh, Tom's probably going right here. And you would be wrong. But he's not getting much farther. Tom can go right here. And I'm actually going to move Dan here. This is more of a, not like a bad character, it's just like a why are you here over somebody else characters. Like they're not interesting. So Tom had a lot of, like, he was who I was rooting for right at the beginning with his whole spy thing. I thought that was sick. And then he has his stuff with Jensen, which I thought was super cool. But then they hit him with Jake, and that was so annoying. The whole spy plotline got shafted for his relationship with Jake. And then in All Stars, he's a himbo the entire time. That's why I didn't want him to come back in Fans vs. Favorites, but at least there, maybe he'll be without Jake, so he'll be a little better. I mean, I get he'll be with Gabby, so Gabby will probably be his only, or Tom will be her only support mechanism. And I don't think Tom's going to make it too far. So, I don't know. Tom just was like, I mean, he's still a good character when he's not around Jake. And he had the spy plot line, which was super cool. But it's just, nah. Just nah. And then we come to our final character, who, despite being the first boot, I think was actually written really well. And that's Will. And I'm going to put Will right here. No, I'm not gonna do that. Will was, I like this thing with Fior, but of course I like this thing with Ashley a lot. Will is a, like, kind of like a DJ clone, and I think DJ is pretty cool, so I think Will definitely served his purpose, and I think he will definitely make it very far if he ever returns in a Blood vs. Water season, which I think is very likely with him and Ashley, which I would love, because that would mean, unless they brought back Tom and Jake, which would fucking suck, that would mean that Ashley would be here without Ellie and without Jake, unless they brought back Hunter and Ellie as well. That would really be bad. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my Disventure Camp Season 1 tier list. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch y'all in the next one where we'll be doing Season 2. Although that won't be today, so it'll actually probably be after the multiverse episode. That'll be on, like, Monday. But yeah, I'll catch y'all then. Goodbye.